welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. I'm bringing you along today for a really quick video where we're going to make one of my family's favorite meals, and that is hamburger barbecue. So this is our version of Sloppy Joe's, and we love it so much. I just put a 3-pound block of meat in there. We love it so much that 3 pounds of meat will go so quickly. It will not last very long. For us, what I really love is I just love eating Sloppy Joe's just like that. Just put it on a plate and eat it as ground hamburger and sauce. Perfectly delicious. You can obviously put it on bread. You can put it on baked potato. I put it in grilled cheeses. I put it in macaroni and cheese. I think there's just so many different ways that you can use this delicious hamburger. It is fantastic. Now I have thought about canning it. I know a lot of people can ground beef, or you can also can the sauce. I've thought about that, but everything I've read and everybody I've talked to said the quality of ground beef, in their opinion, does go down when you can it. So I would love for this to be a super easy, super convenient meal. I unfortunately, I'm not going to do that because this is something I want the quality to be really good. There are some things like green beans and potatoes where you just kind of accept that quality goes down, but I don't want to do that with my Sloppy Joe's. I want that to be as good as it can be. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to brown this ground beef up by 3 pounds. So you can do this in 1 pound, 2 pounds, as many pounds as you want. Just get it ground up. I keep saying ground up. Get it browned up. And you can add diced onions to it. I always add onions. I am going to add onions, but I've had a very frustrated tech day. Today was supposed to be my first day doing computer work and editing videos on my new camera and on my computer, and my computer is not working nicely. So, God love my best friend. I kept calling her, be like, I don't know what to do. So she was going to offer to take over the computer and see what she could do with it, and we eventually just decided to just buy a new computer. So I'm very frustrated. We're trying to bring it back down because there's no point in getting frustrated over something as silly as this. I keep telling myself that, at least. So I don't feel like really cooking at all. So I'm glad I kind of got this out of the freezer and I got this kind of going. So. Ooh. It's still a little frozen. So I'm going to put this lid on. So to go with this, I did get another freezer meal out. A couple of weeks ago we made a really yummy chicken broccoli rice casserole. And it was so good. It was very much a surprise. I didn't think I was going to, because I don't really like rice. So I only used this because I only did this because I had leftover rice, and I was like, well, let's try it, and I'm obsessed. So it is 1,000% going to be something that's going to be more future freezer meals. So I just pulled that out today. I thought it's a rainy Friday, it's a cold Friday. I can't get back new computer until Sunday, so it's not like I can spend the evening editing videos. So we're gonna eat that cheesy casserole, and then I did just think a nice side of hamburger barbecue would go really well with that. I really like this hamburger barbecue with cheesy stuff. I think that all the sauce, ketchup-y, vinegary sauce in the barbecue goes really well with like macaroni and cheese. So I thought that this would be a good pairing. So the casserole is already made. It's hopefully defrosted. It's in the fridge right now. I just put it in the fridge a little bit ago. And we're going to get that in the oven come supper time. But it is only about 4 o'clock right now. So I'm going to get this going, and then this gets better the longer it sits. So we're probably not going to eat dinner for a couple of hours. So I say I'm not going to eat dinner for a couple of hours. So I'm going to get this all cooked up, and then I'm just going to let it like marinate, simmer in its sauce, and then when it's time to eat, I'll reheat a little bit just for me for dinner. So I'm going to bring you along for this. This is delicious. If you have never tried my recipe, I recommend you try my recipe because it's my favorite out of all the recipes that I found online and other homesteaders. There's something really good about it. So all of that to say, if you've not had a try-in day like me, dice up an onion, add an onion in there, and let that cook with the hamburger. I'm just going to use my canned caramelized onions because I could care less. my hamburger and my onions all ground up. And then you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. There is a lot of juice there, a lot of grease. So we want to get that out of there. I like to leave a little bit of grease in the hamburger. It does help make it juicier. However, that is way too much. I'm just going to put it in my old jar. We're going to add in a whole bunch of flavorings now, and that extra grease will give it a little bit of extra flavor. Okay, so we're going to start right off the bat with some salt and some pepper. Now, I really do this by taste. For me, I like to have more of a sweeter, tangier barbecue sauce. So I do this 100% by taste. But for one, I'm going to give you the instructions for 1 pound of ground beef. I'm doing 3, so I'm about tripling it. 1 pound of ground beef calls for 1 cup of ketchup. Depending on your taste, my family's not a big mustard person, so I'm just going to do about a teaspoon of mustard and go from there. One tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I love Worcestershire, so I always do more than required because I do love Worcestershire. 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And that's what gives it, we're just going to do that. That's what gives it that beautiful tanginess, which I have come to love. And then the recipe calls for 1/4 cup of white sugar. I prefer to do brown sugar. I think brown sugar just gives it such a deeper flavor. And the recipe doesn't call for this, but we like to add this every now and then, liquid smoke. I remembered as I was kind of getting everything ready that I have some of this. So we're just going to start small because I don't actually use this that often. I forget that I have it. So I'm not quite sure how much needs to be added to that. So we're just going to start small. And that is it. That is all you add for this. So I'm just going to get all of this combined. I can tell right off the bat that I need some more ketchup. With as much hamburger as I ground up, I knew I was going to use a good amount of ketchup. Okay, bring you down. Now, if you wanted, this is where you can kind of different. You can kind of do whatever you want. You can add peppers in here. You can add, what did I just think of other than peppers? I forget. I thought of something else. But you can add whatever you want to add into your barbecue. I love it just like this. I actually don't like to have peppers in my barbecue. Peppers for me, especially bell peppers that you would add in here, bell peppers have their own specific flavor. And I personally think when bell peppers get added to something that it kind of monopolizes the flavor. For me, the bell pepper is like the main taste. It kind of influences everything. And I'm not a huge fan of that. So I use my bell peppers very, very rarely and very sparingly. There's not a ton of dishes where I think bell pepper adds anything. So I don't add peppers in here. But I think I used this fork already. So let me get a new fork just to be on the safe side. And I want this to simmer for, it's just after 4:30. This is gonna simmer till probably about 6 until we eat. But I just want to give it a taste right now to see what the flavors are. See if anything stands out, or we need to add something. Mm. Mm. I just did a dance, but I don't think you saw that, so that's probably for the best. That is very good. That is very good. That is very good. I'm gonna add. So here is where I like to modify it for my taste. I am now adding a little bit more brown sugar because I do want it to be a little sweeter, a little more Worcestershire, and a little more liquid smoke. And it honestly might even need more vinegar. I don't have that kind of like that I want, but I don't want to add too much here because I know it's going to simmer down. That sauce is going to thicken, and the flavors are really going to come together. So we're going to take one more bite after adding all that stuff, and then we're just going to let this simmer until dinner time. Oh my goodness. Friends, so good. So I'm just going to put the lid on this, and I'm going to let that simmer until supper time. I just have it on low, so it's going to simmer until supper time. I just got my cheesy broccoli casserole out of the oven. So this is going to be dinner along with this beautiful pot of sloppy Joe mix. So let's get it plated up. Is dinner tonight. Delicious sloppy Joe mix. It's so good. It's steaming hot. I let it simmer for about an hour and a half. So good. And then this is my delicious broccoli, rice, chicken, cheesy rice casserole. I made this on a video about a month and a half ago. My God, so good. And thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.